Hello class 10 students. Today I am going to continue with the discussion from this chapter 4 on the topics of Quit India movement in Assam. In the previous class we discussed about the civil disobedience movement and how it contributed in the national rise in Assam. Today in Quit India movement in Assam, as already we have discussed in the second chapter, that there was a fear of Japan attacking India, and India wanted a British to quit from it, India. So to save India from the clutches of the Burmese invasion, from the clutches of the Japanese invasion in 1942, as Japan was successful in overrunning Singapore and Rangoon, and it was knocking at the doorstep that Japan is going to attack India from the various front. So dear, the All India Congress Committee in Bombay on August 8, 1942, it passed a resolution, that is the famous Quit India resolution, or it is called as Bharat Chhoro resolution. So there in Bombay, Gandhi gave his memorial speech, and this speech was given in a field called Agast Kranti Maidan. A great struggle was launched demanding immediate freedom and end of British rule. And it was during this course of the movement Mahatma Gandhi has given the slogan, a powerful slogan: do or die, karo ya maro. People from all walks of life participated in the movement. The government on its part suppressed the agitation with an iron hand, and the Congress party was declared illegal, and its leaders, including Gandhi, were put behind bars. Thousands were arrested and imprisoned. So there, this time the British government acted swiftly in suppressing the movement, but the movement still lingered on, and a large number of people were killed and many more were wounded. Like in other parts of India also, in Assam also the major Congress leaders were arrested immediately as the movement was started, and the Assam Pradesh Congress Committee was declared illegal, and the Congress Committee was completely declared illegal, and the District Congress Committee and other subsidiary bodies were declared unlawful. So all forms of meetings, hartals and gatherings were banned by the British government, and the movement in Assam started with non-violence method of hartals, procession, demonstration, picketing. But the leaders being at jail, and with the growing police atrocity, and the police were atrocities and were harassing the people, the movement turned into a violent rebellion. People started to revolt each and every places, and the people started to attack in various places like government buildings, destroyed railway tracks, and sabotages military supplies, destroying military supplies. In Nagaon and Darang district, government buildings were regularly attacked, and the officers of the British administration were also assaulted by the Indian people. There were incidents of sabotage or railway near Sahabiganj Bazar in Habiganj. Here the railway tracks, as it was going parallelly, so these railway tracks were uprooted, sabotaged, destroyed. Okay, destroyed. That means preventing the British to send or receive their supplies, just weakening the strength of the British. Throughout the country, the British responded to the movement by mass arrest and public flogging. British didn't remain silent. Public were flogged, that means beaten by whatever that is a kind of sticks, where ropes are mounted, which we call as hunter or chabuk, whip that we call as. Mass arrest was also done. Hundreds of innocent people died in this violence, and the Congress leaders was cut off from the rest of the world till the war was over. So understood? So in Assam too, the government started taking stern measures to repress the movement. Kushal Kumar was hanged in connection with the derailment of a train at Barpathar. He was the only martyr who was hanged there, and he was the only martyr to be hanged in India during the Quit India movement. Before, who was the first? Mangal Pandey was there. And also there were certain brutal police firing in Assam, and thereby in Gohapur, while in a brutal police firing, a young girl under the age of 14 years, her name was Kanaklata Borua, was shot to death. But whatever it is, the movement was a genuine mass movement, and here hundreds of thousands of ordinary people, ordinary Indian citizens participated, and there were events of violence, isolated events of violence which broke out around the country. And again the British act quickly and arrested thousands of people and kept them in jail till 1945, and even some of the Congress leaders had to remain in jail. Apart from filling up jails like the rebellious leaders, the British also went ahead and abolished civil rights. Whatever the rights given to the people, it was also curtailed from it, was taken over the Indian people. Freedom of speech and freedom of press, the brutal repression did end, and the mass phase of the struggle. But few leaders who had escaped the arrest from the British, they went underground and start their activity by staying underground. Underground, that means not going under the ground by digging a ditch and putting inside, but they were gone hiding. This is called underground. And among them were Jai Prakash Narayanan, S.M. Joshi, Aruna Asawal. This is from the Indian basis. But in Assam, such underground activities were carried out by Shankar Chandra Borua, Mahendranath Hazarika, Jyoti Prasad Agrawala, Gahan Chandra Goswami, etc. etc. By 1943, there was around 32 underground volunteer camps at Bajali alone. Many such camps were organized at Kamrup, Nagaon, Dorong and Sibsagar. During the Quit India movement, parallel governments were formed in few rural areas. That means the British administration was taken out, ousted, and parallel government was formed, like panchayats. Local government was formed there in Assam. Village panchayat were established at places like Bajali, Hatijang, Dhakuakhana, Raha, Jamuguri. So, and also one more activities was the no revenue campaign was also going on. The peasants stopped and also started to start a process on that they would not pay their revenues, and it was carried out vigorously. The campaign was carried out very vigorously. Despite all activities, involvement of the leaders, of the leaderless people in the movement was snuffed out very soon. The movement was suppressed by the British government very soon. The British was strong enough to suppress the movement. The Congress leaders were still behind the bars at that time. Many nationalists were disappointed that the Quit India movement had failed. Okay, as the movement was dominated by the British government, by the government. So, though whatever it is, the Quit India was over, but it was an example of a movement, inside a movement, that the Indian people wanted to free themselves from the clutches of the British administration, British humiliation. And as later, whatever the success came upon it, it can be seen through the independence, but still in the mind of the British, something had emerged out that they will be unable to tackle certain future movement against the British, and they had to think repeatedly to give Indians a little concession in their status of dominionism. So in this way, a little dominionism has given through, as already mentioned, in the Government of India Act 1935. An election was held again in 1946 at that time, and in 1946 in Assam, the Congress was victorious, and Gopinath Bordoloi, Lokopriya Gopinath Bordoloi, became the first Chief Minister of Assam. This thing about the ministry of Gopinath Bordoloi after the independence we will discuss in the later videos, and I hope so you will understand. If you don't understand, do help me to make you understand by asking question. If you ask me the question what problem you are facing, I will understand, and in that way I will try to make the videos according to your requirement. So I hope so you will understanding this thing, and do share the video, do watch the video. It will be helpful for me, and it will, your views will encourage me for making the consecutive videos. For the time being, thank you very much.